Hey, this is Steven Amell, and you are listening to Tomorrow's Legends, the podcast. Don't fail your city.
When the danger becomes more than one hero can handle, when enemies rise beyond one city and threaten the entire world, a team must gather together to battle the odds. A team of extraordinary heroes. And that team will call themselves the Justice League.
Hello, you balanced double dating unlimited leaguers. We got a fun pair of episodes this week, the Balance and Double Date. And just as I thought, this season of Unlimited is starting to ramp it up and getting better as it goes. As we start to focus on a couple characters each episode, let's see if the trend continues. I got two hot girls for dinner, the Flash.
I'm Harley Quinn.
And I'm ready for a triple date with Arrow and Canary, Question and Huntress. Now, if I can only find a lady on the watchtower to be my date, I'm X-Force 11.
Hello, legends.
Hey, Gideon, and you should see Harley rolling her eyes at the boys right now. Yes, it's too much. All right, you're tuning into our Justice League coverage on the Tomorrow's Legends Cybercast Network here. You know, it all began with Legend of Tomorrow, Stargirl, Superman, Lois, X-Men 97, which is currently going right now. So if you're into the X-Men, check that show out, because oh my gosh. Have you watched this week's episode, Jeff, the Rise of Apocalypse part 1 and 2?
I didn't get to it today because I had to do a bunch of chores, but
Okay.
That's on my agenda for tomorrow and getting in feedback. But yeah.
It's jaw-dropping, punch you in the gut, and you're just stunned. It is. I cannot believe what that show is able to attain in half an hour. Wait till you see it. Especially, the fourth episode there. Oh my gosh. Get into X-Men, guys, and get us in feedback, because me and Abby are covering that one over there. And then we got Jupiter's Legacy and Tomorrow People and Lanterns. We got some news about Lanterns in our news section coming up. Dive into DC with Silverfox and Green Butterfly. They just finished covering the Supergirl movie, so check out their episode over there. And they're ready to dive into Season 3 of My Adventures with Superman, which I have not gotten into yet. I tried Episode 1 of Season 1, and the animation threw me off a little bit because it kind of had that bit of wacky anime style to it, so I wasn't sure. But everyone's telling me how good it is, so I might have to go and check that out later in the summer when there's nothing else to watch. Then The Mandalore, Star Wars, all the Disney Plus stuff. We are getting ready to do our Mandalorian Grogu breakdown. That movie's, I think it's going to be available on Disney Plus pretty soon, actually. So everybody's going to be able to watch it that didn't go to the theater, and then you can send us all feedback for that. And Firefly's still flying, and Brian's just been a little bit busy. It's summertime, and he's in and out of the office on holidays, and he's got a lot of clients going on right now. So our second part of our character breakdown has been delayed a little bit. So we'll get there. But me and Brian were just talking off air. I am planning a trip down to Colorado to see him later in the summer, so probably September-ish. So going on a little road trip. I plotted it out. It's about a 13-hour drive from me to there. So I've never been to Colorado, so I'm going to go down there. He's going to show me around. Where is that? Big Springs? I can't remember where he is. Somewhere down there. But I'm gonna bring my mountain bike. We're gonna go do some biking around the scenic Colorado, and yeah, and then we're probably going to record a couple episodes right in his studio there, just because I'm there. So have some fun with all of that. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I haven't seen Brian since we all met in Atlanta, Jess. Like, that's the last time I've seen him. So
it's a long time ago.
What was that? 2016 or whatever that was.
15, I think.
Yeah. So been 11 years since I've seen the guy, so we'll see if he's still as tall, or maybe he's shrunken a little bit by now. All right, let's get into our general impressions and ratings of the show.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Kick us off, Jeff.
We're gonna talk about the news first.
Oh, did I skip the news? All right, let's go to the news. Let's do that. Yeah, I even said we're going to do it, and then I totally missed it. You were actually frozen for a second there, too, so I was waiting for you to come in. Your screen was frozen. let's go to news.
We interrupt this podcast for a special report.
All right, we do have a good bit of Lantern news. And I have seen online several people not associated with the network have talked about the Lanterns episodes. They've seen several and are very impressed with those. And then coming up on the 24th, we've got a Lanterns panel at Comic-Con. And, we've gotten some things from there. There's some stuff of that folks who are there can get, like jackets and lanterns and rings and different stuff like that. We've got posted in the Facebook group. We've got the image of Hal in his uniform and some posters they've released. And today I saw some rumors about the story, but I'm not going to kind of go into those until we kind of find out if those things are true or not.
Okay.
But it would kind of change things, but not really from what we've seen. But so, it's interesting. But until we get some confirmation, but just like I said, we'll get to hear some more stuff with the panel coming up at Comic-Con. So.
Okay, cool. Well, when we get closer to Lanterns, there was I've got a couple questions written down here on a little sticky note. Someone was asking a question, I think, in the Facebook page, or there was some discussion about somewhere, and I was like, you know what? That's actually a really good discussion point to talk about. So if we end up doing some type of pre-show before Lanterns begins, I'd like to actually get that in here. Or if we have a really empty episode, we can maybe fill the news section with. But there's just a good question. I was like, you know what? That's something I'd like to discuss because I want to know the answer myself. So I'll hang on to that for sure. Cool. Hey, Lanterns. I mean, what I'm excited. I mean, I know it's Lanterns, and I know that's your favorite thing, Jeff. But I think overall, what's exciting me the most is that it's a brand new live action show, because we haven't had one in a while. Like, because everything we've covered has been, like Tomorrow People and the Jupiter's Light. Those shows are all been long gone. Superman and Lois was really the last new thing that we were covering. So it's going to be fun to have a new live action show to talk about.
Yeah.
Definitely excited. All right, let's get back to our ratings and reviews, and I'm just going to play it again, because why not?
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
All right, I give this one 9 magical friendships. I really enjoyed this episode because I like both of these heroes. I loved seeing the Flash trying to build team unity, but a shared battle what was really required to do that. And we get to see Diana's armor being fully unlocked for her use. So it was overall just a really fun episode.
Totally was, yeah. Look at us. Harley.
Yeah, I also gave this one 9. We'll call this Hawkgirl Returns. Why not? I think I've used that rating before, but she's actually I feel like she's for real back a part of the team after this episode.
Finally,
finally. I mean, I liked the dynamic between the two of them. I did find it really funny that they are so similar, which means that they have a hard time getting along with what did they say, oil and vinegar or something like that. They go together but they don't mix, and so I thought that was really funny. I did really like their dynamic. I like that it featured the two of them, so it was just a lot of fun.
It was, and we're going 3 across the board here. I'm also giving it a 9. 2 beautiful heroes. I mean, come on. Hawkgirl and Wonder Woman together for an entire episode. That's all I should have to say. That would be it. But what fun. And even more important, as we see them work through the differences to become allies again. I love all the Greek mythology surrounding Wonder Woman, and including Hawkgirl amidst all of it is just fun. This one really hit the mark for me story-wise, with tons of wit and banter, good action, and of course the 2 beautiful leading ladies, because I love Hawkgirl, and Wonder Woman is right up there. And it was great. It was great to see them. Like you guys said, they are so similar. Like, they basically both like to punch first, ask questions later. And
Exactly.
it was fun to see them go on an adventure together. So let's dive into this adventure and gather us together.
Gather together from the cosmic reaches of the universe.
All right, well, the first section I'm calling the Greek mythology, so I threw as much as I could in this section, and we're going to kick it off with Felix Faust. Somehow he is back. And it turns out Tala, I don't know if that was, all I got was Tala. She saved his soul and put him in the mirror to keep him around. Somehow she stopped him from going to the underworld, and she trapped him in this mirror, and he's allowed to hang out in the mirror. So very interesting to see him come out of nowhere. And do we know anything about this Tala girl? I don't know. I didn't recognize her.
I mean, we've seen her this season. You know, she's been in there working with Waller and the others, but she's definitely a practicer of magic and that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well,
yeah, she had looked familiar to me, but
oh, did she?
Yeah, but I couldn't figure out why. So that must be why.
Must be right. Now that as soon as you said it, Jeff, I was, oh yeah, last episode she was the magic girl at the round table. That's really all we got from her. Yeah. Well, this episode and the next, like this, I feel like it's getting more and more adult humor-wise, because the sexual innuendos throughout this episode were just crazy. I mean, even in the opening scene with these two, you know, Tala's complaining about not being taught enough magic spells so she can get more powerful, and you know, Faust is just giving her the gears, and she's like, well, maybe I'd learn more if we spent more time teaching instead of and then he kind of interrupts, and you knew exactly where they were going with that. Like, obviously they had a little thing together.
Yep.
All throughout the show, these little hints at something more adult-like. That's pretty funny. But here's something that I've always wondered about. That mirror. And we've seen this before in movies, mostly in movies, but in TV shows, there's always some type of spirit or demon or whatever, you know, spiritual ancestor or oracle trapped in a mirror. And it seems like there's a room inside. But we never get to see how much room that they have in there, how deep it goes, or how far back it goes, or if it's a whole other world, or is it all what you see, just that little mirror, that little 2 foot by 2 foot space, that's what they're stuck in. Because if they back up, how far can they go? If they step to the left or to the right of the mirror and then they leave the mirror, where does it go? Where do they go? What's in the mirror? Like, you guys ever wonder that?
Yeah, the two things that came to my mind were a Doctor Who episode where he trapped one of the villains in a mirror, and they were basically in every mirror. They were in every mirror, so they could, you know, they could move around, but they were still stuck. And then the Flash TV show, one of those not great seasons where we had the mirror universe where
Iris was stuck.
Iris was stuck in it, in the mirror universe for way too long. But, you know, so it was a bigger space. But those are the two that popped up to my head.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like everybody kind of treats this a little different. Sometimes it's an entirely alternate dimension. Sometimes it's you're just stuck in the one spot. I don't know. It seems to me like in this one they were kind of hinting at the fact that there wasn't a lot of room there, that maybe he just was confined to like the space of the mirror and that he couldn't really go anywhere else. That's kind of how I was reading that one a little bit.
I mean, he is just a spirit or so. He was just kind of floating there at the time, so
yeah.
I don't know. But I've just always wondered that, you know, you almost want to put your head in the mirror and kind of look around. What's in here? I want to see. But so Felix ends up tricking Tala to cast a spell that ends up freeing him and imprisons her in the mirror instead. It was like a body swap. And he had this all planned out because he wants his little spirit, his soul, to inhabit the Annihilator, which she happens to have, which gives him unstoppable power. And boy, that is not good. When you got a magician of his capability powering a suit that has, well, it's virtually unstoppable. Bad combination.
Yeah, it was nice to see the follow-up on the theft of the Annihilator and to have some carryover between episodes, even if it's not like the main focus, but it's nice to have some carryover from one episode to the next. So
I agree. I like that it felt connected. It was good to see that story point continue on, since there was never really a resolution with it.
Yeah, and this is the first time we've had it in this Unlimited series, because season 1 wasn't really like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very cool. So with his escape, it ends up disrupting the balance of magic power in the world, and maybe across the universe, we don't know, but it causes all magic-based heroes to suffer, and we end up seeing a panning shot of, well first we see Etrigan, and he's suffering. He's switching from demon to human, and he's screaming, he's crying, we don't know what's going on with him. And then the camera pans past Dr. Fate and Zatanna, and Martian Manhunter's got them strapped to tables, trying to just control them and keep them from harming themselves or hurting each other, but they're all suffering. And I thought, that's really interesting. We've never really heard about the magic power before, so how did you guys react to that scene? Like, oh my god, Dr. Fate and Zatanna, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was hard to watch, seeing them all suffer and not knowing, exactly why they were suffering. I mean, they did a great job, like you said, of portraying that struggle, especially with Etrigan.
Yeah.
Of especially at the end where he's half human, half demon. So they did a really good job of portraying that.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty crazy. I mean, just the concept in and of itself. I didn't realize they were, I guess, maybe all connected in that way. Sometimes, I mean, it depends on every, series does it different, or every universe, or, however you want to think about that, does it a little bit different. But I was surprised that by what Faust had done, that it was affecting all magic wielding people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point, Harley, because Dr. Fate, his magic seems to be completely different than what Zatanna wields, but
exactly,
maybe they draw their power from the same cosmic magical force, which Flash would be proud of. That there's yet another force out there, but
right. I do feel like that's kind of what they were hinting at without hinting at it. Otherwise, why would they all be affected? That, you know what I mean? So it was just interesting to see it done that way.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. But then it brings up a question, because this is something that we've never heard of before, that magic power must always be in balance. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that there's good or light side magic, and then there's maybe dark or bad side magic. So but my question was, if the good or the light side were to gain the edge and uneven balance and be heavier in weight or more out of balance, would the bad or dark side users then suffer? Because right now we're only seeing the good guys suffer, because the bad magic got the better, got the imbalance towards their side. Would that happen if it went the other way?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think, he talks about not necessarily good and bad magic. He talks about order and chaos. Mm-hmm. And, it would be interesting from that point of, would, the same point, would, they suffer, and if there was, too much order, and the other way around, if there, would some of the dark magic users ever try to restore order if there was too much chaos? I mean, it brings up a lot of questions of, of who does it affect, and how much would it take for them to try to, fight back against it. So,
well, yeah, I mean, all of that, plus it looks like it's hurting them. How much out of balance was this with Faust escaping? How much out of balance did it cause for them to be hurting? I wonder if it's slightly out of balance, would it affect them, or is it way out of balance and that's why it's affecting them? If they're all hurting, then the magic people wouldn't even be able to do anything about it, because they're suffering. So who would have to step in to make the balance even again? Obviously, in this episode, it's Wonder Woman, but I mean,
yeah, I mean, that's a good point. It's it's almost like they have to figure out who it is that pulled everything out of balance, and then kind of set the system right again. Yeah. I mean, it's he became too overpowered by being able to use the Annihilator without any like restraints, basically. So it just kind of overpowered him. And so, yeah, until someone can set the balance right, you know, it kind of reminds me a bit of like entropy as well, like from, you know, and like physics and stuff. Things need to kind of like be in an order. So that's just kind of an interesting concept.
Yeah. Now, another question that comes up, I find it crazy that Dr. Fate would even be affected because, or even see that this is coming, because he's the most powerful of them all. Like, he's often hailed as one of the most powerful beings in the DC universe. And so it's just surprising to see that this got to him as well. I was like, well, okay, something is really wrong here if Dr. Fate's affected.
Yeah, too much chaos abounding, and it just really pulled him down, so.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, it is interesting, but I guess that's an indication of maybe how overpowered Faust became, you know, by tricking Tala and using that spell and being in the Annihilator itself. Yeah, it's like it opened some like crazy, I don't know, vortex that he just can like pull energy, and then it just makes the whole thing go crazy out of whack. I don't know. This is just how it's coming together in my mind.
Yeah. I like that. I like that visual. It's interesting for sure. That's why I wanted to ask the questions. But moving along, we get a cameo from Hermes, the messenger of the gods, and that I thought that was so fun and so cool. He's hilarious. But I mean, just to have these Greek gods, like I said, I love Greek mythology being part of this. But for him to just show up, lounging in Wonder Woman's bed, I just thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah,
it was pretty funny.
Did you notice that they actually used Michael Rosenbaum's voice before switching over to Jason Bateman?
No, I didn't
Like when
notice.
he's in the dark.
Because she thinks it's Flash.
Yeah, and it you know, and then they switch over to Jason Bateman when, you know, he said, "No, I'm the original speedster." So,
oh man,
oh, that's funny. I didn't quite catch that.
Yeah,
cool. But it's just neat because we're getting to meet a lot of the different gods. So this is cool that this is the first time we've ever seen him. So he just popped in, and then God, what is just so funny? He hands a scroll to Diana. And he's like, "This is directly from Zeus here." And she reads it, and she's so deadpan serious. For a good time, call Pedeminus. And she doesn't even have a clue. She's just like, "I don't know what this means." And he's like, "Oh, whoa, give me that back." And I'm just like, "For a good time, call Pedeminus." Oh my, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but man, that made me laugh.
It was funny.
But she's just not even understanding yet because she's still Wonder Woman in the world of man, doesn't get it. but then Hermes mentions that it's her cell number, and for a second there I was like, wait, what? I had to look at when this episode actually aired because I'm thinking of the original Justice League cartoon. They maybe didn't have cell phones back then, but this episode aired in 2006, so for sure we had cell phones by then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have smartphones. I think the first iPhone was 2008, if I am recalling correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely cell phones.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, it was pretty fun. And I liked her. It just was such a funny scene with him. Then he hands her the proper scroll, straight from Zeus again, and her mission is to stop Faust, yet again, because she needs to restore Hades to the throne of Tartarus. Which is interesting. I mean, they're relying. It makes you wonder why the gods don't step in to do it themselves. But why they get all their mortals to do the work for them? They're lazy, right? So and Wonder Woman was able to beat Faust before, so I guess he figures you just go do it again. Like take him down. What is interesting is for all of you that are going, what's Tartarus? Are you guys wondering what Tartarus is, or do you know? You know?
I mean, it's their equivalent of hell. That's all I got.
Yeah. So I looked it up because I wanted to see exactly what it was, and it's described as the deepest, the darkest abyss beneath the underworld, used as a dungeon of torment. As a cosmic realm, it lies far below Hades as the earth lies below the heavens, and it serves as a prison for the Titans.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's pretty cool. Pretty scary, but pretty cool. Because I didn't know. I had no idea what Tartarus was. So that's, I mean, if it's a dungeon of torment below the underworld, you know you're in a bad place if you're going down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point because Hades is the god of the underworld. So yeah, I don't know. I just kind of took it to mean like their version of hell, but
Yeah.
It's a specific location, yeah. So.
But yeah, I was gonna say that's a good point. It's a very specific spot down there.
You don't want to get stuck down there. Oh man.
No.
Does not sound like it.
No. On a freakier side of things, when they're down there, when Wonder Woman and Hawkgirl get down there, they're in this library, and they're walking through the library because they're looking for Hades, and there's skeletons just hanging on chains, and they're on fire, and they're like lighting up. They're like the lanterns for the library. They're lighting it, and they're there as decorations. Or Hawkgirl, she grabs a book off the shelf, and it opens its eyes and scares her. Whoa. You know, or when they do find Hades, he's on a tree and he's being pecked apart by vultures. Like, this, once again, is not kid stuff here. This is all very freaky, creepy, and kind of scary stuff happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched these ones after my kids went to bed last night, and I was very thankful I made that decision. Yeah. I was like, ooh, no.
That
these
would
are
not help with nightmares.
I mean,
no.
skeletons on fire. I don't like skeletons. They're one of the one things in life that I'm actually generally have a phobia of. I don't like needles, and I don't like skeletons, especially ones that move. And just seeing flaming, I was like, that's creeping me out. I don't, even though it's a cartoon, it creeped me out.
I dug it. I thought it was cool.
A cool visual effect for sure, but oh man.
You know, I know we'll talk about this later, and honestly, it's my favorite scene. But in this episode, but it was interesting how they blend the Greek mythology and the Christian lore here when Hawkgirl talks about being an angel and basically working for God, and it scares the demons. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
I know. I did the same thing. I tried not to think too hard about it because I liked what they were doing with it. I was like, I like this. This works. This is fun. And
it's kind of cool. Instead of everybody fighting over what religion is real and true and what beliefs, all that, just put them all together. They all connect and they all can make sense together. Like, I like that. Why not?
I like that it connected. I thought it was fun.
It stops all the fighting and the arguing. It's like, hey, it's all real. It's all truth. And it can all work together. Why not? I really like that. So
I did too. I liked it. I thought it was quite a clever use of her character and with like the wings and everything. And I was like, she really does look like an angel. I love that.
She really does.
That was cool.
Yeah, I can't remember if that point comes up again later, but it's definitely fun. But speaking of the Greek mythology, like, I just love that the Greek mythology is real in this animated world. It's real. The Greek gods are there, the mythology, everything, it all actually happened. It's part of history, and the gods are still alive. It's just part of natural life. Even after thousands of years have passed since humans believed and worshipped the Greek gods, it's still there. All the gods are still there. It's just normal. And I just love that. Like, oh my God, Greek mythology is part of the superhero world, and it's all real. I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like how they blend stuff together both here and in the comics. They're doing they've done one whole series, and they just started the second part in the comics, and it's an Elseworlds thing, but it's basically instead of Superman coming to Earth, Kal-El, it's his parents, and they actually have him on Earth, and it's back during medieval times. And so you've got all these heroes, and so you're bringing in the knights and that kind of stuff, and you're bringing in like the Amazons, and you're bringing in, you know, Middle Eastern stuff. So they bring all this stuff in that kind of ancient world. Ooh. So I love how DC does that, can kind of mix different stuff together.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I know. I just think it makes it so fun because you get the richness of all of these like different like stories and different mythologies and different legends, and just I love how they bring it all together in like one package because, you know, they've got the King Arthur stuff and they've got the Greek mythology, and it's just all there and it's all part of the universe. And I'm like, that's so fun. I want to live in that universe.
Yeah. Well, like you said, like even the King Arthur stuff, because they visited the Knights of the Round Table and all that stuff before. Like it's cool that even they even did it in our Legends of Tomorrow show. Yeah. They all got knighted and stuff. Like, it's just fun that all of that stuff is part of our history and it's real, and they just incorporate it, and it makes it fun. And I mean, talking about the DC movies, that's where the first Wonder Woman movie, part of why I love that one so much, because they did bring all of that in. You got to see a lot of that mythology as well. And, with the Amazons and their belief system and stuff. Like, it's so beautiful. Like, the Greek history is so beautiful, and there's so much there to just enjoy, whether you think it's stories or actual history. It's just fun. Like you said, that's a perfect word for it. It's fun. And I mean, I've loved Greek mythology my entire life. I'm back in, I think it was grade 10, high school, my English class, Mr. Cowan, my English teacher, like we went through, we did English, we did the Shakespeare, and we did English literature, we did all that stuff, but we got to do a 2-week section on mythology. And he loved mythology, and he would be up in front of the class, and he would be reading the stories, and he would do all of the voices, like he was a professional voice actor.
Oh, wow.
He'd be, Zeus and I strike you down, and he would just get into character, and we're all just in class just sitting back like, whoa, like we're getting free dramatic play here. In the class, and because of him, I fell in love with mythology, because I wasn't really, up until then, I didn't really know much about it, didn't really look into it, and so I got the books that he suggested, and I just dove right in, and I've loved it ever since. So he was the best English teacher ever. Like, he gave us free performances because he loved it so much. So it was so cool.
Nice.
One little point about Hades himself, though, I didn't, I guess because he's a god, but he self-heals really quickly. Like, once they freed him from that tree where the vultures are ripping apart, his wounds just healed up Wolverine style really quick.
And his clothing.
His clothing, yeah.
It all just magically came back.
But I guess you're a god, so you can do that, right?
True.
Yeah, I don't know. But we're jumping to near the end of the episode here, but I'm just including this in all the mythology because it's Hades. Shocking moment here. Hades claims that he is Wonder Woman's father in a roundabout ways. Like, I was there. I kind of helped your mom form and shape you and bring life into you. And I was like, what? I've never heard that before. But then when you look at them, it kind of makes sense, because her mother, Hippolyta, is blonde and blue-eyed. And Wonder Woman's this big, tall, statuesque, dark-haired woman, like pitch black hair, like Hades. They have the exact same hair. And I was like, wow, like, was this ever known in the comic books, or is Hades just messing with her and it's not actually true? I looked up the answer for this, but I want to know what you guys thought when you saw that in the show. How did you react to it?
Personally, I bought it because I don't know any of the history or the lore of Wonder Woman. So I thought they did a good job of making it seem believable. And I also appreciated Wonder Woman's response. And like, I know who raised me and I know where I came from. So I'm not gonna like let the question of if he is or is not my real father like bring me down. So I did really like that. But I thought they sold it well. To your point, it was, I think, the hair in the eyes.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you believe it? Yeah. What about you, Jeff? Do you know the history before that happened?
Well,
or?
I mean, it goes back and forth from what I've seen. So it didn't really surprise me that they kind of brought it in here, whether it's true or not. Like you said, just the hair in the eyes leads you to believe that could be the case. So.
Yeah.
Well, I did some research, so here's what I was able to find. In most Wonder Woman stories, it's actually Zeus that is her father. Early on, when it first began, she was just sculpted from clay and life was breathed into her by the gods. But for this animated version, it's suggested that Hades had a hand in her making, but there's been no confirmation. But this animated series is the only place that suggests Hades could be her father. It's not in any other of her history.
Yeah.
But it has been rewritten most of the time that Zeus is actually her father. So.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is in the comics now Diana has a daughter, Trinity, and Trinity was created by Diana in a similar way. She took some of her hair, she took some of Steve Trevor's hair, who was dead at the time, and sculpted a baby, and the baby was brought to life. And so, continuing the tradition of being formed.
Jeez, I wish I could sculpt a baby out of clay and just bring it to life, and I could have a kid. I could be a dad. That'd be fun. Not fair, gods. Come on. Help a guy out here. Well, let's move into the meat of the story, the fun part of the story. I mean, that first part was a lot of fun, but Hawk and the Amazons. We're talking about Hawkgirl and Wonder Woman here. This is essentially the first time the two main women on the Justice League team get an episode alone together. They've never had this much time together. So it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed that. I thought it was fun to... It's always fun to see characters that we see, in a team working together in how they work together one-on-one as opposed to being part of a team dynamic, and getting to see these two personalities work together was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
I mean, they both have. I mean, you guys know I love Hawkgirl because she's basically like the rogue of DC with her snarkiness and punch first attitude. But Wonder Woman's been showing us that too. That she, in the world of man, she just doesn't understand and doesn't like it. So she just wants to, take. Like how many episodes ago was it when we saw her go to town on that simple bank robber guy? She's a regular human, and she's like beating him down. So we've been enjoying Wonder Woman like that as well. But when she gets her mission, she goes to prepare, but realizes that her own sword and shield won't cut it where she's going, down to Hades. So she goes to borrow Hawkgirl's mace. So first she knocks on the door, Hawkgirl's not there. She actually uses the override code Wonder Woman 003 and gets that, which I thought that's a pretty simple code, but she gets in there and she's going to borrow the mace, quote unquote, stealing it. And because she knows that it can disrupt magic. Pretty smart thinking there by Wonder Woman, I would say, that she would actually think about that. I know where I'm going. I know what I need. It's pretty smart.
Yeah, I mean, she's seen what it does, what's going on with the other magic users. Mm-hmm. And, if these things were imbued by magic in any way, they may have been useless against Faust. So she says, okay, I'm going to go with the anti-magic route.
I liked that. I mean, I did think it was really smart. I thought that was a good callback. When she went to knock on the door at first, I knew where they were going with it, with the anti-magic properties, but I also was hoping that she was going there to look for Shaira, to ask her to come with her. Yeah. We know that's what happens in the end, but I was kind of hoping she wasn't going in there to try to steal the mace, which was exactly what she was doing. So
I agree with you though. In that moment, I thought, oh, okay, Flash tried to get them together, and now she's like, you know what? I actually need her help. I'm going to go plead for her assistance on this mission.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't actually happen. But tell me if you guys thought this too. For a second there, when she's looking for him, she sees the mace hanging on the wall. She goes to reach for it, and I thought, is this going to be like Thor's hammer, that she's not even going to be able to lift it?
I didn't think about that till I saw your note, and I was like, oh my god.
Because it would have been funny.
I didn't think about it either. Yeah. But that would have been hilarious.
Watch it drop to the ground because it's not meant for her. I thought that would have been funny.
Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity because, they could have played off each other there. But Hawkgirl stands in the room. She's like, can I help you with something? And they have their little chat. I find it funny how blunt Wonder Woman is. She's not asking nicely. She's like, I need this. Can I take it? She's not asking in a nice way. But Hawkgirl won't let her borrow it. She's like, it's a package deal, so I'll go with you. And I'm just like, woohoo, this is perfect. Two great female characters. They're going to go off on an adventure together. Two most beautiful women on the show. Here we go. Instant 10 right there. That was it. I was happy.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. It was fun. I mean, Flash's talk about them being alike was maybe sinking in a little bit, but even more it was Shaira wanting to help. So, I enjoyed it. So...
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little bit surprised when she offered her help, but I did like kind of the way she put it. That she's like can't take my mace, we're a package deal kind of thing. I thought that was kind of fun, but I was I don't know, a little bit surprised, I guess, that she was willing to help in that way. But
Well, essentially, you could say she was the one to take the first step towards making amends.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's probably a better way to look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, because Wonder Woman wasn't. She's like, she was going to steal it, and then she got caught, and then she's like, I need it. I'm taking it. No, you're not. Like, Hawkgirl really is making the first gesture here, like, which I think is great, though, like, on a serious side. Like, it's a chance for them to work things out. And because neither of them like to talk about feelings, this was, going with what we're saying, this was Hawkgirl's gesture to patch things up, and I just really liked it. A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprising. Okay.
So when they get to the gates of Hades, Hippolyta is there, and she's saying, the gods have decreed, Wonder Woman, you've been banned from this and banished from land, blah, whatever, and she's going on, and I love Hawkgirl. Like, this episode had so much fun humor, and Hawkgirl's like, the gods are always decreeing stuff all the time. Ma'am. And she kind of steps back. She was like ripping into Hippolyta there, and then she realized she's out of place. And ma'am.
Yeah, and it was interesting to me that Wonder Woman did not bring up the fact that she was sent there basically on mission by the gods.
Yeah, it didn't come up right away, does it?
Yeah, she doesn't like. It's not like she said, I'm not coming here on my own behalf. I'm coming here, So she does. She respects her mom and just kind of lets her say. So
yeah, it's funny. But this I found surprising and interesting too. Hippolyta informs Diana that because she stole the armor, she was never fully trained on its full capabilities, and the armor has not reached its full power yet. She hasn't accessed it or know how to use it properly. And then she touches the star on Diana's forehead, on the tiara there, and all the armor and the rope and everything, it all begins to glow. And I was like, whoa, what did she just unlock? Like, she just powered up the suit.
That's how it looked to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting to think about that. For 2.5 seasons, her armor had power, but not the full power. I mean, it was important, but it was more like, a costume, a mantle that she was taking, rather than totally magical, objects. Like, she knew they had some power, but not the full extent. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked that. I kind of agree with Jeff's point. It was kind of crazy to think that she wasn't using her full potential this entire time that we've been watching. And so that was, I think I'm more curious now to see like how much more she can do.
True.
We do get a flavor of that.
Well, it comes into our discussion we've had before, because a lot of people always thought she could stand toe-to-toe with Superman, and we've seen in this series that Superman is much more powerful than her. Well, if she's now leveled up, can she now actually rival him pretty equally?
It'll be interesting if they show us that.
Yeah. I don't know.
We'll just have to see.
So we end up seeing her use the lasso of truth, because that's what we've all known it as. She uses it on a demon, and he spills the beans on everything, and she's surprised. And I was like, what? Why is she surprised? Hasn't she been using it like that for this entire show? This was the first time. I feel like we've seen that before, but have we not seen her use it to get the truth out of people?
No, I mean, she's used it as a lasso, and it's had some properties of like being strong and that kind of stuff, but not like in a truth-telling way. So
no, she's used it to capture some people and like question them, but it was not like this. Like you are compelled to tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I'm thinking, what wasn't it in that episode when they all got turned into teenagers? Didn't she wrap up Batman and Superman, and they were spilling the beans on stuff? Remember, Batman was going on about him having a crush on her, and Superman's like, oh, like they both were spilling stuff that they didn't want to say. I swear that was the lasso that was making them do that. That's why I thought we've seen it before.
I don't remember. There could have been a different reason for it as well, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless because she was surprised, and because she actually says here, I didn't know it did that. Mm-hmm. And Hawkgirl's like, fine if you don't want to tell me. But maybe it was having that effect on people when she was using it as a lasso, but she wasn't cluing in that they're speaking the truth from the lasso because of the lasso. Maybe she just didn't clue in.
I don't know. I don't feel like we've ever seen it glow golden like it did.
No,
I don't think it's glow. So I'm gonna go back and watch, because that specific one when they turned into teenagers, I feel like that's when it happened. I'm gonna go back and look at it. I'll see if I can report on it. Let me just write a note.
Yeah, no, that would be interesting.
Before, okay, I'm gonna look into that and see, because I'm really curious. Anyway, it was still funny to see when she's like, the demon's just like spilling the beans and like, whoa, I didn't know it could do that. But Hawkgirl doesn't even believe her. She's like, fine, don't tell me. Keep it a secret if you want.
I thought that was really fun.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's my scene.
I think so. Well, it is, because it's funny, so we'll get to hear it. But speaking of that little demon, when we first see him, and this episode was so funny, I just loved it. He's sitting there with his buddies, sitting on the edge of like the lava rivers, and they're roasting meat on bones over the fires of hell, which I just thought was funny. They're just sitting there having a cookout.
I know. I was like, what else are you gonna do? I guess you gotta eat while you're in hell.
I don't know whose bones and meat that might be, but
I think it's best if we don't think about it.
Yeah, but it's just funny that they're sitting there roasting it on the fires of hell. Like, jeez. And then when the lasso is around him and he spills everything, surprising them. I love the line. We'll hear it later, but he's like, "I'm a demon. The truth hurts."
Yeah, that made me giggle too. I was like, that's really funny.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a side note, the demon was voiced by Wayne Knight, a.k.a. Newman from Seinfeld, and Nerdry from Jurassic Park.
Oh,
so
nice.
No wonder. Yeah, that's pretty funny guy.
That's funny.
The demon was funny. I just liked the what he was saying. And then continuing with the humor, I made note of everything because I didn't know if we were going to play all the clips, but Hawkgirl is ripping on Diana about her not even sweating when they're in the hottest place on Earth. And I'm just laughing because there's so much fun humor in this one. Like, cracking me up.
Yeah, she says, you don't sweat, you just glow. And then she says, you probably don't even... And then she gets cut off. I'm like, well, what you gonna say?
Yeah. You probably don't even. Yeah, because I think that's when they landed in the snow somewhere or something. Yeah. She's like, man, I didn't expect to have to wear clothes here. And she goes, you're not even cold. Like, look what you're wearing, bikini armor, and you're not even cold. I bet you don't even sweat. And it was such fun back and forth between these two. I want more episodes of just them.
Yeah.
They did have a really good back and forth that I thought was very enjoyable.
Yeah, so funny. And then you mentioned this earlier, the Angel of Fear. It was hilarious when the demons thought Hawkgirl was an angel because they're all like surrounding her, and one of them grabs her wings to stop her from flying, and then he pulls them out and realizes, oh my god, like, am I grabbing an angel here? And he's like, and he flees in fear, and that's when she plays it up. Yeah. Yes, I'm an angel.
I just thought that was funny and just smart, the way that, she kind of uses any advantage that she sees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was so good. I mean, she's even mocking them, just her voice. Yes, I'm an angel. Like, she's so funny. Love Hawkgirl. All right, let's get to the fight, because the fight was pretty cool. It was a pretty good, badass fight with the ladies and Faust in the Annihilator suit, and for the most part, he's tossing them around pretty easily. Like, he's beating on them. They come in, they try to attack him. He grabs them, he throws them away, whatever. And that is until Hawkgirl has enough, and she takes the mace to him. Because I think she drops the mace at one point, but she picks it up and she comes flying in, and she's beating on him. She's cracking the armor. She breaks the mask.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I've talked about this before, she's the only one that can cause damage with that mace, and that makes her so damn cool. It makes her a worthy teammate in the league here, because we've seen a few times now, she's the only one that can hurt certain villains.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. That's true.
Yeah, it's really cool. But Faust gets a hold of her at the waist, because he's got the big Annihilator gauntlets, and he starts squeezing her to death. And I was thinking, uh-oh, like, are we going to see her put in the hospital? Because she's not invulnerable. She's not like Superman or anything like that. She's pretty much the mace is her power. So I thought this is a little bit scary. But then Wonder Woman picks up the mace, and I'm thinking, oh boy, with Wonder Woman's strength, and now she's leveled up, and she's going to use that mace. Oh my God, watch out! And she ends up bashing the Annihilator to pieces, and I thought, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, this was a fun fight sequence, and just seeing Wonder Woman not holding back, it was great. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of good action in both these episodes, actually. There's a little bit more in the second one once we get there, but like so much so that I was having a hard time finding a favorite scene. Now in this one, there's a lot more like back and forth. I was trying to find something with a little bit more meat to it, but yeah, it's a lot of good stuff, but a lot of good action.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and a good fight scene. But I mean, just imagine Wonder Woman with the strength of the gods swinging a magic mace like that. Yeah, that's a combo you don't want any villains to have to face. That's pretty scary.
Yeah.
But at the end of the episode, they finish the mission, everything's all good, and the ladies are making up, and they come to terms with each other after it's all over. And I love how Wonder Woman, she asks if they're good, and Hawkgirl replies, like oil and vinegar, we go together, but we don't mix. And Wonder Woman's like, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm good with that.
I loved that. I was like, that is such a great line. I'm going to have to use that from now on. Just like oil and vinegar.
Yeah. Good first step to rebuilding the core of the JLU. So, I liked it.
Totally.
Ooh, yeah.
It was so good. All right, well, I didn't know where to put this in the episode because it's really the only scene that starts the episode. So this is the extra thoughts. And I just want to say, because we've talked about this before, especially after the last couple episodes, Flash is the moral center of the team. He's trying to get them to meet in the middle, make amends with each other, find a way to be teammates again, and to be friends. Like we were saying, we were questioning, what if this Flash were to die? Like this league would not have his joyous personality that kind of does bring everybody together. And I thought that this is Flash. It's exactly what we've been talking about.
Yeah. I think you're kind of making a really good case with that particular scene. You're winning me over to your argument.
Well, we're gonna hear it, don't you worry. But I like at the end there, after they both walk off, he's so proud that he had two beautiful women say yes to him to have dinner, and everybody's looking at him like, and he's got his hand in the mashed potatoes, like
just classic Flash.
Both feet in mouth. Here we go. Yeah, he was fun. He was fun, but it was good to have him really in the opening scene, and actually having some lines, and because it was kind of nice. Like as him and Wonder Woman are walking in the room, she's like, "Oh, thanks, Wally. It's really good. We haven't got to spend a lot of time together. It's a great idea." So it was nice to see the two of them having a moment of being friends with each other, even before Hawkgirl walks into the scene.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yep. Kind of nice. All right, that is it for the discussion of the first episode. Let's get to our favorite scenes. Actually, we're covering... I forgot to put in notes here. I guess we're covering... We should maybe insert an ad break here, and then we'll get back to favorite scenes.
Sure.
All right.
Shape out an eagle!
All right, so I'm going to go with that scene because it opened the episode. This one is called Dinner Dates, and this is Flash trying to set them up.
This was a great idea, Wally. I can't remember the last time we've had a chance to catch up.
Mostly my fault. I've been pretty busy in Central City.
I want to hear all about it. I saw some of it on the news, but it's not the same at...
I'm sorry. I thought we were having dinner tonight.
Is it Tuesday? Silly me. Making dinner plans with two beautiful women on the same night.
Uh-huh.
We can do this another time.
Don't be ridiculous. We can all have a meal together. It's a chance for us to get reacquainted, patch things up.
Assuming we want to.
Now there's an example of exactly the kind of thing we're not going to do anymore, right? I'm telling you, once we clear the air, everybody's going to be pals again. I always thought the reason you two don't get along is that you're so much alike.
Like her?
You weren't going to eat that, were you? You guys aren't even trying. You can at least talk to each other.
Pasta's good.
It's the sauce.
This isn't gonna work, is it?
Not a chance.
Hey, where you going? Come on. I had dinner with 2 women at the same time. Because I'm a stud.
Oh, that final sound effect is gross.
Yeah, squish, squish.
Yeah.
There's even more to the conversation I forgot there, where she's asking him, "Oh, what happened in Central City? I've been seeing it on the news, but I want to hear it from you." Like, it adds to what we've talked about many times on the show, that what this show has done really good at is developing the friendships between these heroes. That they are friends when they're not having to fight bad guys. They're just friends, and they hang out, and they know each other's lives. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. We don't get to see that a lot, so it's fun.
Yeah, so it's really nice. All right, X-Force.
All right. I'm up next, and I call this an angel. So let's take a listen.
I think I extended this because I think there was a lot leading up to that moment that ties it in, so
Sure.
It's a little bit longer than just that moment.
It's getting kind of hot in here. Considering where we are? Point taken, but still. That's right. I'm an angel. You can mess with me if you want to, but I don't think you want to mess with the boss. If we're lucky, they'll all be that dumb.
Love it. It's too fun.
That was fun.
I'm an angel. Like, it's just the way she delivers the line. It's so funny. But it is interesting because if you think about, like we were talking about, the mythology and Christianity, God is supposed to be God, the Almighty. Well, so is Zeus. He's like the king of the gods. So who would be in power over who if you actually have them together, right? Did the Christian God create the mythological gods as well? I don't know. But that could be a crazy discussion one day, right?
Who knows?
That would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. All right, Harley, wrap us up for this episode.
Yes. I called this one a moment of truth.
Where's Faust?
Let me think. Oh, yeah, he's over there. No, wait, he's over there. No, there.
One more answer, and it better be the right one.
Or what? You'll kill me? Gosh, I might end up suffering eternal torment as punishment for my sins. Oh, wait, I already am.
Let me try. Tell me your name.
Abnegazar.
Tell me where to find Faust, Abnegazar.
In Hades' library.
Lead us there.
Okay.
How'd you do that?
Magic lasso. Who knew?
If you don't want to tell me, fine. Not yet. I've got one more question. Is there anything else we should know?
Yeah, you really, really shouldn't go in there. Now, could you please take this rope off of me? I'm a demon. The truth hurts.
So, a lot of good stuff in there. I like the scene because we got a real, I felt like it really was the first time that we had her intentionally using her golden lasso. So.
Yeah.
It was good. Definitely good. Fun stuff. All right, let's move into our next episode, which one was this one called? Double Date.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
All right, ratings.
I give this one 8.5. Love is in the air. I thought this was a really fun episode. I enjoyed getting to see Green Arrow and Black Canary working together and kind of growing in their love. But it was also fun to see the Question and Huntress's romance starting. And it was a good showcase of everybody's powers and abilities. And And like I said, just a fun little episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also gave this one an 8. I didn't really pay that much attention in the beginning of the episode on the first time around. I don't know what it was. Kind of the setup there. I was just kind of like in and out a little bit, feeling a little bit distracted with watching the setup there. But I really liked like the back half of the episode because there was a lot of action. It was, like I said, it was hard for me to actually find a good favorite scene, not because there wasn't good scenes, but because all of the scenes I loved were also action heavy, and you would have like 10 seconds of dialogue, 2 minutes of like and like 10 more seconds of dialogue, and I was like, yeah, that's just not gonna work. But overall, I did think it was really fun. I didn't like it quite as much as the first one. I did get a little bit bored in the beginning with some of the setup, but once I got a little bit more like action heavy, it was fun.
Yeah, I definitely like the Wonder Woman Hawkgirl episode a lot better than this one, but I'm still giving this one an 8 unlikely partners. This was a fun introduction to the Huntress, giving her a full episode all on her own, which is saying something in the series, because not many characters get that. She's a fave for many fans out there. I remember way back in Arrow days, a couple of people calling into Arrow Squad, loving the Huntress when she appeared on that show. I wonder how many of those fans of her knew of this episode in Justice League Unlimited, that she's highlighted in it. So this was all her. We also get a lot of the Question as well, showing his more Dick Tracy-like kind of character that he is. Nothing too deep in this episode, but still enjoyable romp around the town with these characters. So yeah, it was fun. Just nothing serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into the notes for this one.
Gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the universe.
So, quite the introduction to Huntress, as we witness her break into the home of some mob boss, we don't know who yet, and she walks into his bedroom with her little mini crossbow and just starts firing crossbow bolts into the bed, trying to assassinate whoever's sleeping there. I'm like, whoa. What a way to introduce her, like she's just killing somebody, point blank. Jeez.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of crazy. I actually thought about doing the opening sequence as a favorite scene, and then again realized that there was like 20 seconds of dialogue, and it was just kind of like the thugs in the very beginning.
They were funny though. I got that coming up.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. So anyway,
yeah.
I don't know. Surprising. I guess I was not expecting her to try to assassinate someone in their bed, and also without checking that they were there.
Yeah. I mean, it took me back to the Arrow days.
True.
And, you know, but I think this one was even more determined to, you know, than that one was. So yeah, it was interesting.
Just for future note, guys, like remember, I can perform editing magic. If there's like a scene that gets interrupted by fighting, just say, hey, I want this whole scene, but cut out the action stuff. I can piece it all together and then just have the dialogue out of it all. So,
yeah, I wasn't sure if it made as much sense. But anyway, yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Just keep that. But of course, this assassination attempt gets Huntress in deep trouble with Martian Manhunter, because all of a sudden we're back up on the watchtower in space. And she's in so much trouble that he ends up kicking her out of the league because she crossed the line. And crossing that line was attempted murder. We're heroes. We don't kill people. So he's like, you're done. You are done. That's it. Give me your identification card. And she just throws it at him.
Oh, yeah. He is not a super fan of the vigilante justice. Getting a little bit too close to the, what did they call them? Justice Lords.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Yeah.
Coming off of the last episode that we watched, or last couple episodes we watched, it makes more sense why he's so bothered by her behavior, I think.
Good point.
Because him and Superman are really steadfast in the idea that they'll never be like Justice Lords.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was crossing that territory, taking things into her own hands. Too much vigilante justice.
Good point. See that it subtly, but it's connected to what we've seen already.
They're connecting much better in this season.
Yeah.
Much better. The first season, it was truly like mostly standalone.
Yeah.
So.
And I just have to say, I'm a fella. I mean, she's quite the sexy lady herself. Her protective outfit really shows a lot of skin. Like there's not much to
Funny how, all the female characters don't have much covering them up. Anyways.
No.
It's almost like they know their audience.
I wonder, yeah. A lot of young, pimple-faced boys sitting at home watching, right? All right, so she's leaving the tower, and as she's leaving, she passes the questions room and barges in and offers a bargain to him. I'll help you, or you help me find Mandragora, which was the mob boss that she was actually trying to kill, and she'll tell him everything she knows about Cadmus. That's her deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little point I thought was really cool. They kind of focused on it, but their names are on their quarters. You know, had a little nameplate there in the door, and it just made me wonder, like, do all the League members have quarters there on the station, or is it just the ones that don't really have a home base? You know, or maybe need a spot. I mean, I can understand, like, you know, Hawkgirl and some of the others, and like, you know, maybe
Superman in his apartment that he has.
Yeah, I mean, some of them have like those type of things, but like some people might need that because, you know, they're on the run or whatever, or, you know, don't want to get caught up. So it's just interesting to think, you know, does everybody have a spot? But, you know, some of them treat it as it truly is their quarters, or some people it's just, you know, I don't know. Like, you know, is it only like the upper tiers? Like, you know, does, like, you know, does some of those ones that we just see in the background a whole lot, you know, have quarters too, or in the other satellites? I don't know.
It's an interesting question. Yeah, like, do they all have quarters up there? It makes you wonder. I mean, the station's pretty big now, but I find it funny. Like you mentioned, all the characters. They always seem to be using the same ones in the background now. Like Fire and Ice are always around in the background, which is kind of funny. Especially Fire, the green fire lady. Like she's always there. Yeah. and then talking about Questions Room too. Like when you walk in there, it looks just like a kind of like a teenager's room, or almost like a prison cell. Like it's not a neat room. He's got so much stuff all over the place because he's just constantly chasing down theories and everything. It looks like a murder board in a police station.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else.
Yeah, from what we saw last time he was featured, you know, he's consistent.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
But it's interesting that because he's the best digger of info in the league, like he knows how to find information. And for him to not be able to get anything on Cadmus is surprising to me. And it made me wonder, well, what could she possibly know that he can't find out?
Yeah, I mean, if I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about that, and I said, well, if Cadmus is in league with Waller, which we know they are, then they know like everyone's skills and abilities and how to like counter them. They're going to be very good about hiding things and throwing false leads out there to throw the question off, because that's his skills and abilities of, you know, digging into things. So, but that may be some of it, but, you know, maybe we did hear from Batman the other episode that he is having the question dig into, you know, the stuff. And so that's what he's doing. He's being on assignment for them of digging into some of that stuff.
Yeah, it definitely seems like he's like their special like research department, for like lack of a better way to put it. You know, maybe if like Batman doesn't have the time to do like a deeper dive on it, or if he needs, you know, just like a lot of information and something like really thorough with like him connecting like all of the dots, you know, which is kind of like his thing. Yeah. I feel like that's where they're leaning into him, which is kind of smart. It's kind of just like a fun skill set to have on the team.
Well, you mentioned Batman. It makes me, because Batman is also like a master of digging up information. Who is better at it between these two? Batman or the Question?
I feel like when things need to be connected from like points A, B through Z and then all back over again, I feel like that's more like Question territory.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's like taking all of these like distinct pieces of information and then like putting all the pieces together, kind of like, you know, I mean, kind of like he does with Huntress about, it's kind of like, we'll get into this, but, you know, it's kind of like the whole that whole the whole point of her story. Like he just lays it all out, and he put all that together by trying to research, this Mandragora kind of guy. So I thought that was interesting. Whereas I feel like Batman is good at finding like specific pieces of information. He's like, oh, you're like secretly running this Black Ops organization that doesn't have any funding on the books. Like, I feel like that's more like Batman territory.
Yeah, definitely.
So again, this seems to be ramping up this season. I already mentioned it, that the flirty insults back and forth, even between these two, it's just there. Like the writing is just sneaking in all this little innuendo stuff, and I'm getting a kick out of it. It makes you feel like I'm not watching a kid's cartoon. It's just fun.
Yeah, I did notice that. I feel like things have ramped up even more. I mean, like as each like season has gone by and as it morphed into Unlimited, I feel like it's kind of ratcheted up the, I don't know, like flirtatiousness or like the adult things that the adults pick up on that hopefully the kids don't. But
so who's Mandragora? Because to me, when I watch him, he's very much like Kingpin. He reminds me of Kingpin from Daredevil and Spider-Man. He's got superhuman strength and endurance. That's his abilities. But he's also an albino. If you're wondering why he looks like that, he's actually an albino, and so is his son. But what I found really interesting in this episode, he actually was able to withstand Black Canary's cry. That takes a lot of endurance or whatever to be able to withstand that, because that cry can shatter people and melt their brains, and he just stood there and took it, which was crazy.
Yeah, he almost felt to me a little bit like I got Kingpin vibes. I also got Solomon Grundy vibes.
Okay,
yeah. So the character is voiced by Glenn Shaddix, who played Otho in Beetlejuice, but the character has superhuman strength and superhuman endurance, and the character is loosely based on Tobias Whale of Black Lightning lore.
Oh,
I can see that.
The main villain on Black Lightning.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So
I can see that.
So
I mean, he was albino too. So
yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. Well, the reason Huntress is after him is because it turns out he killed her parents, and she witnessed the whole thing when she was just a little girl hiding in the closet, because he used to work for her dad, who was a big mob boss, and then once he got big enough and strong enough on his own, he turned the tables and took over, and she watched him beat her parents to death.
Yeah.
Yep. That's pretty dark.
Yeah. In the comics, she's not there when her parents were killed, but finds out later who it was. But, this was more poignant. And an interesting fun fact that her dad in the episode was animated to look exactly like Tony Montana, a.k.a. Scarface, even down to the scar. It's like...
Yeah. You totally look like your typical Italian mobster.
I would totally see that. Yeah.
I mean, just to imagine, like, what a horrible backstory. Watching your parents get killed, like, by his bare hands. Not cool, but it's very similar to Batman's story, like almost identical backgrounds. And I know her and Batman are very tied up together in a lot of the stories in the comics, right? Like, she's involved in his stories a lot.
Yeah, that's
true. Relate to each other. Yeah. So she gets her real chance to assassinate Mandragora, but it's at this point in the episode where his son comes running out of nowhere, and she can't do it because she's looking at the way his son is crying, Dad, and it reminds her of when she was a kid, and she can't take someone else's parents away from them, even though it's Mandragora right there in front of her that was the cause of her parents' death. She can't do that to another kid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what makes her different from him, and she proves she's worth being in the league by making that change, which we know he wouldn't. So
true. No, I liked it. I thought it showed her character and her strength, and just her choice to rise above and be the hero versus being more of a villain or an anti-hero. I wouldn't call her really a villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she struggled with it. It wasn't an easy decision. She was
No.
wavering and had the crossbow pointed right at him. So that was close. But
Yeah.
well, let's move into the other sort of part of the episode here. We have the Canary Arrow. That's the two of them. So they are on guard duty for Mandragora because he's waiting for trial or whatever. And his flirting with the Canary is gross. I mean, this is where I thought they went a little too far on a kid's show. He's even doing the thing with the tongue on a kid's show. I'm like, what the F? What are you doing the tongue thing on a kid's show? That was gross.
I think this is the part that I was bored with and didn't really pay as much attention to.
Yeah, it was a
kind
little...
of glad I didn't.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because he was saying some pretty raunchy things to her. I was like, yeah.
I can't believe they put that on the kids show.
Yeah,
I had spaced out a little bit at that point of the episode.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not just powerful physically, but he knows how to manipulate people because we see later on what he's doing here. But yeah,
he is fooling all of them. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But
True.
The bickering that they're doing, he gets pissed off, and the FBI agent kicks Black Canary and Green Arrow out, sends them to go outside and guard the house from the outside. But they end up crawling, which I don't know why. They end up crawling up into the kids' treehouse, and they're hanging out in the treehouse in the front yard, which I thought was odd but funny. They're taking orders from the FBI agents, which I also thought, why are the FBI agents in charge here and bossing them around? And they're like, all right, yes, sir. There's just a lot of weird things here, but them in a treehouse I just thought was kind of fun.
Yeah, I think maybe the League, like we've talked about, is trying to stay on the good side of the law within law enforcement and that kind of stuff, and working with the government, and trying to show that they're not what Waller and other people think they are. So
Yeah, I definitely think they're trying to, I wouldn't say maybe defer to them, but let them be the ones that are in charge and kind of direct the situation a little bit. So that they're not perceived as, so they're not perceived as the ones in charge, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess they're just trying to show good face, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Huntress and the Question show up, and they end up having a good old fist fight in the front yard there. And Canary's going toe-to-toe with the Huntress, and I kind of thought Canary would easily handle the Huntress, but the fight ended up being more even than I expected.
It was pretty even, except down to the end there.
Yeah. It was a fun brawl to watch, and Canary didn't use her powers, so it was, fairly even back and forth between all of them.
True.
But even the Question, we've never seen him fight, and he brawls pretty well too, holding his own up against the Green Arrow there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, he's actually the one that starts the fight, because wasn't it that Hunter, she's trying to lie to them, and she's like, I guess that didn't work, and Question's like, well, maybe this will. Bam! And he just punches Green Arrow right in the face. You're like, oh, that's what's going to happen here. Okay.
Yep. It's crazy.
That's pretty funny. So, during the chase scene, Arrow and Canary are on the motorcycle, and I got this coming up later. I just thought this was so fun. Again, the humor is just continuing. Canary's driving, Arrow's hanging on to her, and she's like, she tells him to hang on, and he just laughs. He's like, I think it's funny you have to tell me that. It's pretty funny. There's just some funny humor.
Yeah, and it's just like, are we dead yet? Are we dead yet? Instead of, are we there yet?
Yeah,
are we dead yet?
Are we dead yet? Yeah, exactly.
Promise I'll tell you when we're dead.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's so funny.
That's hilarious.
Just so fun. But then here's another thing which I laughed at, and I'm wondering why. When they're in the chase goes into the train tunnel, they're chasing the Question and Huntress, and a train ends up coming through the tunnel. The Question and Huntress are able to avoid it through a side tunnel, but Canary and Arrow are not. And at the last second, Arrow calls to Martian Manhunter in the watchtower, "Manhunter, now!" And he teleports them off of the motorcycle. But then they reappear over the river and just go flying, woo, splash into the river. And I'm like, why did he teleport them there and not somewhere safe, like on the rooftop of a building or something? Why would he dump them off into the river? He's in full control. What's Martian Manhunter doing there?
My only thought about that was momentum. They were cruising along fast, at a fast speed, and the beam just kind of moves them from one spot to the other. So if they were beamed onto the tower, they would just fly in at 50 miles an hour. So but so maybe there was like a dock or something or a landing that they were supposed to stop on, but the momentum carried them over the edge into the water. I don't know, but like
I'm with Jeff. I think he put him over that water on purpose, knowing that where they were still, because they were still moving. It's what was that from Fringe? Momentum deferred. It's like it doesn't really. It's not going to stop the momentum because that would squish them like bugs. It's just going to put them in a safe place where they can keep going without getting squished.
Right.
And so that's
landing
how
in the
I
water.
read it.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's
so
like
they kept going for like a soft landing, although water at 50 miles an hour is not soft. That would also kill them. But anyway, better than like a concrete roof or a space tower that they can go crashing through.
Yeah. I guess it's like a fly in a car. If a car's going 100 miles an hour and suddenly stops, would the fly stop? No, the fly would smash into the window. Yeah, it's that.
It sure doesn't.
Yeah. So it was just funny because they land in the water and Canary is so angry. She's so pissed off and they start swimming away. And doesn't Green Arrow say something like, and John thinks Huntress is the crazy one or something? There's some line like that.
Oh, something like that. Yeah.
So mad. I built that bike with my own hands. Remember? She was mad.
Oh yeah, she was not happy.
So funny. So bringing this back, when facing Mandragora in the final battle there, she lets her canary cry out, blasting him straight on from like maybe 20 feet away. And like I said, he was able to withstand it, and we see her continually blast him, and she essentially runs out of power. And she falls to her knees, and she's basically expended all her energy, and she's exhausted from using her canary cry. We've never seen that before. We didn't know that she could actually run out and get tired and just be exhausted from her power. We've never seen that before. So I thought that was really interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, she did not hold back, like you said, and she ran out of power. And I can't remember like in universe how her screams are powered, but I'm guessing it's something like physical strength where you run all out for a long time and you're exhausted and you need time for recovery.
Something like
it's not like Superman where like he's being powered by the sun and so he's getting that energy in and then just expelling it out. And taking it to your counter, your alter ego on, on X-Men 97 of Havoc. He's taking in those cosmic rays and shooting them out. But she's, we don't know how she recharges, so she just gets worn out and exhausted.
Yeah, I think it's more physical. I mean, it's just that she has like an enhanced like vocal ability, and so when she's run out of energy to expend it, I think running is a really great analogy, or singing or screaming, or you can only sustain that for so long before you gotta stop.
Well, that's a good way to look at it, because she actually inhales and then goes and she screams. Like, you can only exhale as much lung air as you have in your lungs, and that goes along with her scream. So maybe she just ran out, and it's tiring. Like when when you've tried to exhale for as long as you possibly can, you eventually have to suck wind back in. You can't do it forever. Maybe there's something like that. But I like what you said too, X-Force. Like she was hitting him with it, and when she saw it wasn't affecting it, she actually raised it up on a level and applied even more power to it. Like she went up like 2 or 3 times trying to push him backwards, and she just couldn't. She ran out, and it shocked her too. Like nobody's been able to stand up to that before. Because we saw in the wrestling episode, she's like, I don't want to scream at these guys. I'll kill them. They're too close.
Yep.
And like, what is it about Mandragora? Like, holy crap, he's tough to be able to withstand.
Yeah.
That. So, yeah, crazy. Well, the end of the episode, the Question admits to Huntress that he actually likes her. He's got a little crush. And she grabs him and kisses him. I don't know how she knew where to kiss him because he doesn't have a face, but she kisses him, which must have just felt weird, kissing a flat face. Like, it must have been weird, but I'm not the only one feeling that because Canary and Arrow are watching that, and she's like, I'm sorry, but ew.
Yeah, I mean, do they know that that's just a mask that he's wearing? Like,
is it, or is that actually his face? I never known that. Is it a mask?
Yeah, it's a mask. It's a mask.
Oh,
kind of like Rorschach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I forgot about that.
That's who
he's based off, right?
They couldn't get the rights to a lot of the heroes, so a lot of the Watchmen characters are, based off of, so yeah.
So he's wearing a mask. So that ties in to early in the episode. Well, like I said, the hilarious jokes is when Huntress goes into his room, she goes, "You must be the ugliest guy in the world to have to wear a mask like that," or something like that.
Yeah.
Didn't we see him in the very episode he was introduced in? And then we see him put a mask on.
He was playing a cab driver.
Yeah.
I forgot. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh. So they don't. So obviously Canary doesn't know it's a mask because she's like, ew.
Yeah, probably most of them might not. So yeah.
Okay.
I guess. Yeah.
I'd like to look into his history a little bit. Like he obviously can see through it and breathe through it. But
yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's like like you see at the cons where people wear those like full bodysuit things where like the the Green Man suit where it like goes over their face, kind of like that. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. I actually saw. We were talking about Watchmen. I actually saw a fun TikTok where a guy made one of the scenes, like the opening scene from Watchmen, but using the actual characters.
Oh, cool.
That they were like, if they had gotten rights to. So it was the Question instead of Rorschach. And, I forget, he was talking to, I can't remember what no, it wasn't Batman. It was who was Owlman.
Yeah,
I forget who it was. But anyway, so it was kind of interesting seeing them talk, about those characters. But anyway, so
yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Well, I got 2 points in the extra thoughts section here, and I find it funny if the Question were to be a real popular character, and let's say he got his own TV show, you can tell that they inserted a catchphrase for him that I think they were hoping would catch on. Because, when Huntress is grilling him, he's like, and that is the question. Like, you knew that was his catchphrase. That would have been his catchphrase.
Boom.
Yeah. Boom. Every episode, week after week, he would say that once or twice, maybe 3 times in his TV show. You know, that's it. They were priming him for. And that is the question.
Same bad time, same bad channel.
Yeah. So now going all the way back to the beginning, like you mentioned it earlier, just the 2 tough mob guys that open the episode, they're just having a conversation and they're talking about sharing recipes, which is just so funny. Big tough mobsters, and they're talking about carrot cake or muffins or whatever it is they're talking about. I was like, oh my God.
I think they were arguing over scones.
Scones.
Yeah, because they were talking about the lemon zest or the citrus zest or whatever.
Like, like, how many times I have to tell you the orange zest?
Yeah.
Why you gotta be so mean?
Real tough mobsters right there for you. Just so funny. All right, we're going to pause for our second ad break of the episode, and we'll come back with our favorite scenes for this one.
Shape out an eagle!
All right, Harley is up first this time.
I am up first, and I called this one Last Chance.
Given what occurred tonight, I'd say it was a wise precaution.
You know what Mandragora did, and I almost had him. He should have been there, but someone tipped him. You did it.
I had Mandragora moved, yes, for his own protection. And yours.
All right, Jean, so I get some Justice League demerits. Fine, just spare me the lecture. I can find him without your help.
You misunderstand. To Tonight was a test, and you failed. Pack your things, Huntress. You're out. You'll need to turn in your identification card. Immediately.
Fine. I hope you choke on it.
Wow.
Yep. I thought it was really interesting, just coupled with, with how it opened, just because like I feel like we've never seen Jean that unhappy, and it kind of like goes back to that they don't want to do that vigilante justice. They don't want to take things into their own hands because they don't want to end up becoming the Justice Lord. So it was good. That was a good scene.
Yeah. You're right. We've never seen him that angry, and I think I'd be a little concerned about him being that angry at me. Yeah.
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 Crazy. All right, X-Force.
All right, I call this one Smarty Pants. So let's take a listen.
Do you have any idea what you've done?
Yes, I hunted a murderer the League's protecting.
We don't have time for this. We've got to ask the question what he just picked up and put in his pocket.
Me?
Don't make me ask again.
Oh. You mean this?
It's a storage key for a place down by the train station.
All right, you two stay here. Don't make me sick Black Canary on you. You've only seen her nice side so far. Ow! What was that for?
All that crazy mystery man mojo and you couldn't even pick up a clue without being seen?
The key wasn't the clue. The key was mine. Now, this list of container ship arrivals I palmed while they were yelling at you, that's the clue.
I don't get it. Why aren't we on our way to the train station?
Because I know when I'm being conned.
You're cute when you're an insufferable smarty pants.
See what I mean? That was total Dick Tracy music during that entire sequence.
It really was. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Insufferable smarty pants.
This show is fun. Like I honestly have way more fun with this show than I have watching the DC movies lately. This show is just fun. This is what I want to enjoy with these characters. Just good stories, good humor, and we're having fun with it. And we're learning about the characters as we go. It's just fun. Good stuff.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to wrap it up with a very quick one. This is Arrow and Canary hanging on to the motorcycle. Hang on.
You're not supposed to drive when you're angry.
They're heading towards the waterfront. Hang on!
It's so funny you think you have to tell me that.
That was it.
That's so funny.
I don't know why, but that one cracked me up. So.
Are we dead yet? Promise I'll tell you when we're dead.
I should have added that part in, but yeah, I think there's something in between the two.
There was a lot in between it. Yeah.
Pretty fun. All right. If you would like to support the show, we're about to get the feedback, but if you want to support the show, and we appreciate all of our Patreoners that are still on there and still doing it. A few of you have been doing it for a very long time, quite a few years, and we just so appreciate you guys because it really helps cover the cost of the show.
Yes.
It helps us keep on going. So we appreciate you guys. This is how you can support the show.
If you'd like to support our podcast, you can do so at our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/tomorrowslegends.
Don't hide all night and day and wish that you could have your say. The time is now for you to take the floor. Top up your drink and find your nerve. Get the attention that you deserve. But keep it quick, we've no patience for a bore.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your chance to step up into the spotlight and tell us what you think. Here they are, ready to listen to your feedback or show you the door. The Flash, Harley Quinn, and X-Force 11.
We don't play that one very often because it's a long one, but it's just so fun. I thought it suited this episode.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we have got just a voicemail from Perry. What's that? Combo Kev said in the group he missed the deadline for this one. Oh,
yeah. I told him to be sure he can fill it in. Send it to us, and we'll play it before the next episode.
We'll play it.
Yep, we got a pre-show feedback section, and I know we guys give you a deadline like. What is our actual deadline, X-Force?
Friday at 7.
At 7 p.m. So we start recording at... what time is it for you guys? We start at 7 my time, but it's 9 you guys. So even,
9-ish?
like 7's the deadline, but if you guys are running behind, you can actually send it to us, an hour or so after 7. Just kind of... It should pop up. One of us will get notification of it, and I can squeeze it in while we're doing the show. So if you are running behind, you can get it in there. Or send it in for next week and catch up. But we're going to listen to Perry White and see what he has to say.
Hey, Legends of the League. Perry here. Let's talk about the balance and double date, shall we? Again, these weren't packaged as a two-parter, but I like that they share similar themes, and that being unlikely duos. In the first episode, we get that with Shaira and Diana. In the second episode, we get that with the Huntress and the Question. Alright, let's start with the balance. Kudos to the writers for not dropping the storyline from Task Force X by bringing in the Annihilator. Now, I didn't have it on my bingo board of Amanda Waller commissioning a magician to fix the Annihilator, but she's all about whatever it takes, and if it takes magic, that's what she's willing to do. Of course, using that route, it also brings in the opportunity to bring back Felix Faust and the Hades storyline, even though, quite frankly, if I wholly forgot everything about that storyline. I tell you what, folks, old age, it gets the best of us. But speaking of callbacks, I do like the fact that we get a callback to Shaira's betrayal of the League and the fractures that still exist, particularly with Wonder Woman. She's probably the one who felt the most betrayed by Shaira, and it's nice to see that the writers hadn't forgot about it. By the way, wasn't it really awesome that Wally was the one to try to get those two back together? I mean, if this was truly going to be a packaged episodes, maybe they could have called the first part of it Threesome with Wally and Diana and Shaira going out on a mission. I'm sorry, folks. My jokes skew juvenile. What can I tell you?
We're here for it.
But I think it does reinforce and demonstrate what Wally is to the League. He's the glue. He's the heart and soul. And without him, this bunch of folks would be fractured. And it's just nice to sort of see that shown on screen.
See?
And I also like the way that this episode ended. At the end, Shaira and Diana weren't besties, but they had agreed to be teammates and comrades. And it might not be a Hollywood ending, but it's a real life one, and I like the message of that. I do have two questions though, right? So in this iteration of Wonder Woman, is Hades really Diana's father? Are we ever going to find that out? And the second question I have is, are we ever going to learn the weaknesses of Diana's armor? I know that was brought up in the season before, and I was kind of sort of hoping that we were going to get an answer to that when her mom started talking about it, but we never did. Acquiring minds want to know. All right, let's go on to Double Date. Kudos again for not dropping a storyline by showing us the Question still trying to investigate connections between Katniss and Lex Luthor, just like Batman asked him to do in the Doomsday Sanction. I just like seeing that connective tissue this season, and I'm going to give kudos for it. See, this season can all be about all sorts of continuity, and I dig it. I also really like the chemistry between the Huntress and the Question. If any of you folks are old enough to remember shows like Remington Steele and Moonlighting,
oh my gosh,
I would watch an entire season of that kind of show with the Huntress and the Question at the heart of it. I just thought they were great together. I do have one question though. So at the end, rather than shoot Mandragora, Huntress decided that she was going to drop, I don't know, several tons of metal and whatever that was.
That's true.
On top of him. So I'm just
That same
wondering,
thought.
are we supposed to believe that her arrows were going to kill him, but dropping several tons from I don't know how many feet above his head would not? Can somebody help me make any sort of sense of that? Speaking of making a sense, do all big mafia boss types in every comic have to have superhuman strength? I'm looking at you, Kingpin, Tobias Well, and now Mandragora. It would have been nice if there had been in one sentence in the episode that sort of explained why he had superhuman strength, but we never got it. Anyway, that's all I got. Together, I'm giving these episodes 8 dynamic duos out of 10. I just absolutely love the chemistry between the Question and Huntress, and I hope we get more of it. All right, I'm out of here. I got a newspaper to publish. By the way, has anybody seen Lane and Kent? They told me they were working on an expose about dating within the Justice League. I swear those loafers are never around when I need them. Great Caesar's ghost.
Creative as always, Perry. That was funny. My answer to the Mandragora thing is that there was a little line in there. Hunter said something about he's susceptible to sharp, like that. That's why she was going to kill him with her crossbow bolts, because something about piercing ability, something he can be pierced, and that can kill him. I can't remember. There's some weird little offshoot line in there about but he's invulnerable to things like heavy weights and being beat up and being hit and stuff like that. So I think she wanted to drop all those steel girders on him just to get some sense of revenge. Like, I could kill you, but instead I'm going to drop this 20 tons on you instead.
Yeah, and trap him until, that can contain him, so.
Yeah.
True. That's a good point. Maybe she was going for containment because she knew what he could withstand.
Yeah, I mean, she had just seen Canary blast him, so.
True.
Yep. And then his other question about Wonder Woman's armor, what the weaknesses of it are. I wonder if they're kind of subtly answering that. Now it got powered up, it's no longer going to have weaknesses. I don't know. They did blatantly say I know your weaknesses, but it never came back around. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm imagining it still does have weakness because, Faust was able to take out the weakness of the Annihilator, but I don't know if that's been done to her armor or not, but who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting. Maybe it'll come up. I mean, they're making a point of telling us about these things, weaknesses, and now it's been leveled up, so maybe it'll come around again.
True.
I am really not remembering this season at all. It's all new to me right now, so.
Nice.
It's fun. All right, well, that wraps up all of that. If you guys want to be part of the show, you know what to do.
If you would like to be a part of the show, you can send in your feedback to tomorrowslegendspodcast@gmail.com. You can also reach us on Twitter @tomorrowslegends. We'd love you to join our Facebook page at facebook.com/groups/tomorrowslegends and become part of the community.
All right, Jess, what's coming up next week?
Next week in Episode 7, Clash. Captain Marvel joins the Justice League, and his innocent presence inadvertently causes friction with Superman. Then in Episode 8, Shayera, Vixen, and Vigilante are lured into an ambush by Thanagarians seeking revenge.
Ooh. Ooh. Thanagarians are back. And Captain Marvel, which is otherwise known as Shazam. It's funny why they're not calling him. So they're going to basically, there's always been a little bit of uncomfortableness between him and Superman. So that might be a fun episode to see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But the Thanagarians coming back. I know, I remember them being a big part of Hawkgirl's storyline here. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with that. But Vixen and Vigilante, which one is Vigilante again? Is he one of the cowboys?
Yeah, the cowboy with the mask.
Oh, that's right.
They keep wanting to highlight some of these weird characters that nobody really knows about. That's going to be like his 3rd or 4th appearance already.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. All right. Well, that is what's coming up next week. So everybody have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you guys in a week. Check out all the other shows on the network because we got a lot going on right now. But get to it. This is The Flash, signing off.
And this is Harley Quinn. I'm out.
This is X-Force 11. So say we all.
Tomorrow's Legends is not affiliated with CBS, Warner Brothers, HBO, or the CW. We're a fan-made podcast for entertainment purposes only and are part of the Cybercast Network. Be sure to check out our partner shows, The Mandalore and Dive into DC, covering your favorite Star Wars and DC Comics properties. Thanks for listening.